Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. All right, guys, I know we've cut back on a lot of lives lately. We are getting back into the swing of things. We've got a good class today, especially if you guys are looking for market prep, looking for random things that you guys want to sell. I know a lot of people have been asking about these Bramble baskets, and so this live, we're going to be teaching you guys how to crochet these Bramble baskets. This will be a quick project. It will be a quick live. I do have one prepped, so this project's gonna be all completed by the end of this particular video. What's up, Letty? How are you? Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. So Bramble baskets. Amanda, how are you? What are Bramble baskets? Guys, I hang these on my wall. Usually I hang them in the mudroom, which is right by where we head out for the garage door when we're heading out. Hey, hey, what's perfect about these, you can throw your chapstick, your keys, all the little odds and ends. You can just hang it on the wall. Grab it as you leave the door, kind of like a purse, but not really a purse. You can leave it in the car, you can leave it in the center console, and then when you get home, all the items that you don't want to stay in the car, you can just, put it and hang it back on the wall. So that's why these are really good. They're also great in bathrooms when you put like all your knickknacks, your scrunchies, your whatever it is that, kind of compiles onto your your bathroom counters and stuff like that. You can put them all in here. That way you can kind of keep decluttered, and they look really cute. They look kind of farmhousey when you hang them on a thumbtack. And they just sit there like so. So Bramble baskets for the win. Great gifts. I sell them at the markets, and we're going to be making them today. So what do you need? You need yarn. I didn't use a whole lot of yarn. You can double it up. This one was made with 2 strands at the same time. It will make it a little bit thicker. It will make it retain its shape a little bit more, but it's not necessary. The one that I made for today's class that we'll be finishing together, and give me a second, I got a tickle in my throat. This one was made with a single strand of yarn. So single strand, 4-ply. This is the Budget Yarn Pound by Karen brand. So nothing special. You can use your red heart, any scraps that you have, just grab it. You don't need a whole lot. If I had to say, maybe about 100 yards. You don't need a whole lot. This is going to be worked with a moss stitch. So you will be learning a few different things, and it will be a moss stitch in the shape of a triangle, as you can see. So you can actually take this pattern, turn it into bandanas. You can turn it into a few other things, possibly even a shawl. You may want to upsize the hook so you get a better drape, but you're good to go. So grab your yarn. Let's see, the hook I'm using today is an eye. It's also a 5.5 millimeter. You don't have to. If you use a bigger hook, you're gonna make this a little bit more flowy. What's up, Becky? If you use a smaller hook, it's gonna be more rigid, which you may like, I don't know. Honestly, whether they're rigid or whether they're more drapey, they all work the same. The Bramble baskets all work the same, and they're perfect for just a million different things. So, who's stitching with me? Tell me in the chat. Grab your yarn, grab your hook. You don't need stitch markers. This is a really, really easy pattern. I'm going to get you started. Then I'm going to finish while you guys are doing the long part, because you'll be stuck on this part for a while. But it does work up very fast. It still works up pretty fast. I want to say I did this in probably like an hour.
I wish it was fall already.
Right? I mean, Mrs. Dutman, it kind of is. It's been raining here all day, and I'm pretty sure it's going to stay in the 70s after the rain leaves. Again, I'm in California, if you guys don't know. And I honestly think fall is here, buddy. I think fall is here, Mrs. Dutman. So bust out those Uggs, bust out those leggings, bust out that pumpkin spice. I won't judge you. Fall is here. It's here on the calendar. It's here on all the paperwork. It is here. So fall out, Mrs. Dutman. Fall out. All right, so I've got Amanda's ready. I don't know if anybody else is going to be stitching with me, but again, as you guys trickle in, you know how it works with all of my live classes. Everything will be dropped into the Get Hooked playlist afterwards. So hey there, Athena. We're making a Bramble basket. We're making a Bramble basket. So you can hang these on the wall, put all your little knickknacks and odds and ends, little small stuff that you don't like leaving on the counters, and you can hang it on the wall, and it's a quick grab and go, quick put back, and you're good to go. Does help with life sanity. I have them in the mudroom for a ton of different things. I like to put like all the doggy poop baskets in there, or bags, like how you always have those little rolls, and then like dog treats and stuff. I Excuse me, I have the hiccups now. I put that in there when I do it for stuff that I take in the car, like your keys and your keychains and your chapstick, bobby pins, scrunchies, whatever. I put them all in this, and it keeps it all nice and clean, so there's no clutter on the counter and everything. So yeah, we're gonna be making this. If you guys want to use the tutorial afterwards, save the link because you will be able to, like with all my classes, and let's get started. All right, you don't need a lot of yarn. You need any hook like I've already covered. I'm going to be using this just to get us started, and then I will leave you to your own demise while I show you how to wrap up the project. This is going to be a really short class, so feel free to ask any questions that you guys have because this project really goes into a repeat very quickly. And then to wrap it up and finish it does not take much at all either. So good project for market preppers, good project for quick gifts that you want to give to, you know, people for the upcoming holidays, whatever the case may be. Or maybe you're just trying to declutter your house on a budget and you have tons of scrap yarn. By all means, stop in, sit down, and join. What's up, Patricia? How are you? All right, so we have a little bit of yarn. I probably pulled out way too much because I don't need to go into too much of the repeat. And we're going to start with the magic circle. Now, I know the magic circle is a love-hate relationship with a lot of people, but let's keep it simple. You're going to hold your cut piece of yarn. You're going to wrap it around the back, so just straight around the back, and back up. You're crisscrossing. Give me a second. Hold on. What are you eating? Okay. Sorry, doggies, and I'm still supervising puppy. Wait, no. Yep, puppy's passed out. We're good. Okay, so again, you're holding your yarn. The live part is here. So this is my yarn ball. This is the cut side. Going around the back side, crisscrossing over. You're going to go under the first strand, over this strand, and you're going to pull it through just as if you were stitching. Do not pull this too tight because we're going to be stitching into this. Okay? And here we go. You're going to chain one, and we're going to work that corner stitch. The corner stitch is going to be consistent throughout the whole project. So in the magic ring, you're going to work a single crochet where you're just pulling up one loop and then pulling through two. And then you're going to chain two and then do another single crochet. And now you can pull this magic ring tight. And what you have is the corner stitch, which is going to be your single crochet, chain two, single crochet. It doesn't look like it much. I get it. It'll start taking more shape as we keep going. And remember, I'm not joining to the beginning because we're not working in a circle. This is going to be a triangle. So don't join, pull it tight, and then we're ready for row two. And who's stitching with me? Amanda, I know you're stitching with me. If you need me to slow down, you know the game. Just go ahead and let me know in the chat. So you're going to chain one, and hypothetically, you're going to turn.
Hey, purple heart, rose, 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 rose.
What's up, Wendy? How are you? All right. Into that first single crochet, you're going to work another single crochet. So one single crochet there, and then you're going to chain one. Into this corner stitch, we're going to work that corner sequence again. So you're going into the chain two space. That will be the chain two space in between the two single crochets. And we're doing the same thing. Single crochet. What's up, Tabitha? How are you?
Rose.
So in the chain two space, you're always working single crochet.
Hey girl, how are you today?
Chain two, followed by another single crochet. Kimberly, I'm doing good. How are you? So we're in that chain two space, single crochet, chain two, single crochet. You're going to chain one again, and in that last single crochet, do another single crochet. Amanda, I know you're stitching with me, and that might have been a lot, especially with people saying, what's up? Let me know if you need me to go over that again. You have a little bit of a tinier triangle. Well, not a tinier. It's getting bigger. But you're starting to see now how it's a triangle. Now, as we keep going, I want you to notice it's not flat. That's okay. We're going to hide a lot of that when we seam everything together. So you might,
what are we making today?
You might have a little bit of a dimple coming out. That's okay. We are making a bramble basket, Kimberly. A bramble basket are these baskets for just odds and ends that you can hang on the wall, and you can grab them, take them with you. They just help you kind of declutter your life. They help you declutter your life, and they're quick and easy, and everyone should learn how to make these. They make great gifts, and also just sanity keepers in the house, I think, personally. Amanda, are we good on that so far? Let me know if you're ready for row 3. But yes, this portion might still stick out as we keep going. Like I said, that is okay. That is okay. It'll all be hidden. Thank you, thank you. So I'm just waiting. I want to make sure that I don't leave you behind. So just to recap, we did a magic ring. In that magic ring, we did a single crochet, chain 2, and then another single crochet. Perfect. We turned, we did a chain 1 and turn. In that first single crochet, we did a single crochet, then a chain 1. And then in the corner stitch, which is the chain 2 space, we did a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. That always goes into that chain 2 space. Followed by another chain 1, and then a single crochet in that last stitch. So we're going to repeat that, Amanda. Believe it or not, you're already in the repeat. So chain 1 and turn. In the first stitch, you're going to single crochet and chain 1. That's always going to be how you start. That's what's actually going to increase because you're going to go right into that chain 1 space with another single crochet. It might be hard to see the chain 1 space. You're going to have to kind of feel for it with your hook, but I promise you it's there. I promise you it's there. And then chain 1. So it's just a moss stitch. Every single crochet, you're going to have a chain 1 after or a chain 2 after. You never have 2 singles right next to each other. We are already in that corner chain 2 space. So we're doing the same thing. Single crochet, chain 2, and right back in that same stitch, single crochet, chain 1. We're skipping over the single crochet right here, and we're going into the chain 1 space with a single crochet, chain 1, that's technically our increase, and into our final single crochet, you're going to work another single crochet, chain 1, and we're going to turn. How are we doing, Amanda? How are we doing? I'm going to do a few more repeats with you because I don't want to leave you to your own demise too early, but you are already in the repeat. I told you, you're going to get in the repeat really, really, really fast. So I'm probably going to do about 2 more rows with you just so you can really see it. We've chained 1 and we're turning. In the first stitch, again, single crochet, chain 1. And you're going right into the chain 1 space that's right next to it from the previous row.
I got you.
Perfect. Single crochet, chain 1. You're always going over the single crochet and going into the chain 1 space between the 2 stitches. So another single crochet, chain 1. Guess what? We're right back in that chain 2 space. So in the chain 2 space, we do the same thing every time. Single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. And then you're going to chain 1 so we can skip over that next single crochet from the previous row. Aiming for the chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 1, find the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 1, and then in that last single crochet, single crochet. You can technically chain 1 because we're going to turn again. This is probably the last row I'm going to do with you. You're already in the repeat. I hope you're seeing that. This pattern flies. I told you guys this might be a very short video, so feel free to ask any questions you may have because this is going to fly by real fast. So again, we've turned. Our first stitch is that single crochet. You're going to do a single crochet and a chain 1. That gives us our increase. We're looking for the chain 1 space between those 2 single crochets on the previous row. Single crochet, chain 1. Into the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 1. Into the next, single crochet, chain 1. And we're in that chain 2 space. So that means we go back to that corner stitch and you're going to single, chain, chain, single.
Are you TT after this?
Probably not, Tabitha, but tomorrow I plan on it quite a bit tomorrow. I have a cross-country dinner again tonight. I swear cross-country is taking over my life. Chain 1 to get over that single crochet. Go into your chain 1 space, single crochet.
This is off topic, but you will love the Lost Souls shawl when you make it.
Oh my gosh, I saw your pictures, Mrs. Dutman, and I can't wait to try it, to be honest with you. Single chain one, you're aiming for that chain one space, single chain one, into that chain one space, single chain one, and now you're at that last single crochet. Chain one and turn. So you have something going like this, and you're going to keep going. How far do you keep going? Well, I'll show you. So Amanda, if you have any more questions, let me know. I'm going to keep going and get ahead of you and show you what to expect as you get it to size. Now you can make these any size you want, okay? You can make them small, you can make them super large, whatever works for you. What I recommend doing is if you're trying to hang them on a wall, maybe see what'll fill up the wall really well and aim for that size. Where is my... I tend to make them all about this size before I start putting them together. So I'll tell you the height. I don't remember how many rows I did, and honestly...
Did I hear no live again tomorrow?
No, there will be a live again tomorrow, Wendy. We will be live tomorrow on TikTok, not on YouTube. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, how wide do you want to make it? Probably about... If you're making it the same size I am, I'm at 18.5 inches wide and about 10 inches tall. Again, you can customize it for whatever size you want. Sometimes you may want smaller stuff. Sometimes you may want them larger. Just know that the larger you make them and the heavier they get, the more they will likely stretch. So if that's something that you really want to like perfect the size on, you want to account for that. If you don't care and you're just using these for pure function, by all means, it works just for whatever. Just make it, you know, big enough to hold whatever you're planning on putting in there. Like I use a lot of Sharpies and pens on one of them that I keep next to a whiteboard. So there's a lot of different uses. But let's say you've gotten to your desired size, okay? We still need to add the handle, and then we still need to wrap everything up together. So let's go ahead and start that row, and we're going to do that together. We've chained one, and we're going to turn. We're going to do everything up to the corner the exact same. So I'm going to be aiming for that first, and I know this is a little bit of a darker color. Forgive me. I will try to get it a little bit brighter in here if I can. Oop, I'm almost knocking stuff over here. So you're going into that first single crochet. No different. This row's the same. You're doing a single crochet, and you're chaining one. From here on out, you're aiming for the chain one space. And you're going to single crochet in every chain one space, followed by a chain one, and you're skipping every single crochet. And you're going to do that all the way to the center. The handle is a 2-row process. And then after that, we will stitch it all together. But how's everyone's Thursday doing, whatever. While I do this... All right, we're going to go all the way across. Mrs. Detman, is that yarn that you're using on the Lost Shawls? You said there was a slight color change. Is it actually variegated? Because I don't think I saw it in the most recent picture that you put in there. And if you guys are not in our Discord, I did link that in our chat. It is open to anybody. It is free. We like to brag about a lot of our projects. We like to collaborate about a lot of projects in there. So you may want to get in there if you're obsessed with yarn like several of us are. But several of the patterns we're mentioning are in there as well. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It will definitely challenge your crochet skills. Or even all crafting for that matter, because we've got like a bunch of serial crafters.
LOL, I'm falling apart, LOL.
Oh no, don't fall apart, Amanda. Oh my gosh, earaches are no fun. I don't get them often, but when I do, I'm miserable. Now that we're in that corner stitch, you're going to do a single crochet. You would normally chain 2, but now we're going to chain more. So
it's a striping.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm gonna same style as the pink in my mosaic blanket.
Oh, nice. I started with 7. I think that's too small. I want it to be a little bit bigger.
I started Ara's circle vest.
8, 9, 10. Letty! Oh, Ara's circle vest looks amazing. I can't wait to see yours. I'm probably going to go a little bit bigger, so we're at 10 chains. I'm going to go 11, 12. Let's see what this is. I thought I had all my notifications turned off. I did. I don't know why they're turning on. All right, well, that's fun. Okay, let's go 14 chains. I just want it to be like a nice size loop where it is easy to get it over, because like if you use S-hooks, you don't need a lot of space because S-hooks are obviously very skinny, but if you're using thumbtacks or bigger hooks that you might use for like towels and things like that, you're going to want this to be able to go over the opening. So I did about 14 chains. That seems to work really well for the size that I'm going for. Since you guys can't see what size this is, I guess I can take a quick measurement. It's about just shy of 2 when I do that. Hopefully you guys can see that. So again, customize this, make it your own. But our new corner stitch is going to include all of those chains. So I'm going right back into the same corner stitch and doing a single crochet and chain 1. And we're going to finish the row as if it was the same all the way down to the end. Because this is how we're going to incorporate our handle. What's nice about this is the handle is going to be attached with
These have so many uses.
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea, Becky. I use these all over my house. I have a whiteboard that we put all of our grocery items on. So when we run out of stuff, everyone writes on the board and then I can just take a picture of it before I go to the grocery store. So all of my pens and markers are in a Bramble basket right next to it. I already told you guys I use these for all the dog stuff, like the poop bags, some of the smaller treats, some of the smaller just dog items that you end up needing last second. That goes by the mud room. We also have several small flashlights in the house that we put in another one on the mud room. There's like a lot of different ways to use these Bramble baskets. I know a lot of people use them instead of purses. You can even put them in your purse, like if you have like little odd and end items. Kind of like I do with my zip pouches. So it's a really, I don't know. I'm a minimal, I've been trying to be like that minimalist style person. So anything that makes my life easier, that's functional, that's kind of where the realm that I like try to live in. Okay, so no different. We're chaining 1 and we're turning. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to take this same repeat that we've been doing all the way back to the center. And then we're going to put a bunch of single crochets into that center little loop-de-doop. Loop-de-doop is a technical term. How do you spell it? I don't know. We're not going to go there. So in that first single crochet, nothing changes. Single crochet, chain 1. We're going into the chain 1 space now. And we're going to go all the way across. But look how quick these rows go, because technically, guys, I don't know, have you guys ever tried a moss stitch? Has anybody in here? I know it's been going around for a while. Some people were doing it on blankets, some people were doing it on some other things, but that's all this is a moss stitch in a triangle shape. So technically, you can take any stitch in a triangle shape to create
loop-de-doop LOL.
A Bramble basket with different textures. Yes, loop-de-doop. I'm down with, I don't know, is it D-E or D-A? Loop-da-doop? Loop-da-doopy? Do we need to add those vowels to it? I'm just saying. We can really, like, customize this loop-da-doop-dee. But then that starts sounding Humpty Dumpty, and that's not exactly the direction I'm trying to go. So anyway. Anywho. All right. This is our last row. And here's how it's slightly different. Amanda, how fast is that working up for you? Because now you've been on your own. You probably got something maybe about like that big now. You're probably jetting. The moss stitch does work up pretty fast. Okay, so now that we've gotten here, notice I'm not going into the chain 2 space because there isn't one. I have this loop-de-doop. We're going to work a ton of single crochets into this to reinforce this. Now, a lot of people tell you to work the same amount of single crochets as chains. We chained 14. So you want to start with 14 single crochets. I've made enough of these to tell you I never like it when I only do. I never like it when I only do the amount of single crochets that I chained. I always end up doing more. But let me show you why. Let's start with 14. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Guess what, guys? I counted to 10. It's going to be a good day. 11, 12, 13, and 14. You could use this, okay? Look, it's got good coverage. It works really well. There's nothing wrong with sticking with the 14. For some reason, I feel better scrunching everything up and making it just a little bit more, I don't know, like full, if that's the right word. So I'm just going to keep adding single crochets until I like that loop and how full it is. So I probably added another, I'm probably adding another 10 right now. I'm not counting, full disclosure. I didn't count. I just kept adding. And then I'm going to keep respacing out. Firm. Yeah, I was trying to pick a different word, Letty. I was trying to use, you know, my thesaurus skills, and I don't think it's working. We're not going to talk about that, though. But as you keep, like, spreading out the stitches, you'll see, okay, that looks like it's pretty, that looks more full. That looks like it's, like, substantial. I think we're good with that. So I probably did an extra 10 stitches. Again, kind of like with recipes, how you guys tell me to measure with your heart. When it comes to this, stitch with your heart. Do as many as you feel is necessary. But when you're done, you want to resume the pattern. So you want to chain 1 and go right back into the chain 1 spaces and finish that row. And we're going to go all the way to the end. Sturdy! I like it. Oh, that's a good one. That's probably better than a lot of the stuff that was crossing my mind. Oh my God. All right. When we get to the end of this row, you're going to leave a long tail because we're going to be using it to stitch everything together. But I'll get you there, and then I'll show you how we do it. So if you have a yarn needle, it will make things easier. I probably should have said that in the beginning, but I'm hoping you guys are prepared. If not, great news. You guys have the link, and you can come back to it. Ah! And just a heads up, I'm probably going to start doing some more pop-up lives on Tuesdays, I think. I'm going to try to aim to get some more projects going. I may not always announce it as I do on Thursdays. Thursdays I'm not going to change. I just know I've been talking with several of you guys about how I'm going to be allocating some of my time a little bit better. That may mean going live on YouTube a little bit more, just so that way I can get more patterns out and more projects your way. So it's good things, but just keeping you guys in the loop. When you guys get here, you're not going to chain 1 and turn because we're done turning. So you're going to chain 1 and pull it through, get yourself that long tail, and then we're going to fasten off because we have enough to stitch with or to sew it up. Boop. Okay. Now, let's get rid of our hook. Let's get rid of these, and let's grab our yarn needle and show you guys my method to my madness.
I'll take an updated picture on the cord when I'm a little bit.
Oh, yeah, please do. Especially when you get the color changing in there. I want to see more of that color. Okay. Now, one thing I like to do is to try to plan the easiest amount of turns. I don't want to have to reconnect yarn, disconnect yarn, or anything like that. So my long tail, I'm going to start by just getting it connected to the thread. And then I'm going to get these to where it's kind of even. So there's no measurement. As you can tell, I'm literally just folding them over, and I'm aiming for the corners to touch where that folds over, and I'm aiming to have this center with my center line. So you don't want to be doing anything like this. I mean, you could, but you guys know that that's obviously going to cause some other issues. So you want to kind of keep everything centered and get it all together. You don't have to worry about lining up stitch for stitch. You're going to notice I'm not counting. I'm not looking to make sure all these stitches are lined up or anything like that. I'm literally just shaping my basket to where I want it and making sure that these corners touch the full corners. And now we're going to start stitching. So when you start stitching, hold everything up because you want to make sure that you're grabbing a stitch from every one of these 3 panels. You've got a panel here. You've got the panel in the middle. Don't worry that our yarn is connected to the middle. That doesn't matter. And then you've got this panel here. you're going to start by just making sure you're always going through all 3 panels every time you do a whip stitch. And a whip stitch is literally just kind of a spiral that goes around through your items. So we just pulled through that way. I'm going to pull through again this way. I'm trying to keep my hands out of everything because it's already hard enough to see with it being a dark color. Again, forgive me. It's what I had and it's what I went with. That's why I taught you guys with the lighter purple, but I do have to finish it with this purple, unfortunately. Ah. And as you can see, just make sure every single time you really try to go through all 3 panels. And you don't want to stitch too far apart because then you might start cinching it in like that and you don't want to reshape your work. So try to really not pull it too tight, but keep it nice and clean. So again, all 3 panels. All 3 panels are on the needle. And we're pulling it up. And we're going to do this all the way across. I'm going to hold it this way in hopes that it'll keep things a little bit more in line. We will weave this in later. That's just their starting point that we had. Uh-oh. Did I make a boo-boo? No, I did not. Okay, we're good. We're good. Going through all 3 again. I probably made this yarn excessively long, but I didn't want to have to worry about running out because I don't want to have to join and have another thread I need to fasten in, so it is what it is. These are the things that I hyperfixate on because I don't want to waste any effort having to do more work than I need to. So hopefully you guys are learning from my little shortcuts. Amanda, as weird as this sounds, how big is your piece? How big is it already? It probably works up really fast. I feel like I made this one in about an hour. I might have gone less. I was doing stuff while I was stitching it because I was working on another pattern that I might be listing and planning out my next videos. Okay, but when you get to the end, don't fasten off. If you guys are ahead of me, because I know some of us have ADHD and we think we know what we're doing, so we head on out. Don't fasten off when you get to the other corner. Not yet, because there's still more stitching we're gonna do together. So we're getting this closed. If you guys are new here, I do teach a free crochet class every Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If you missed it and you showed up late, that's okay. All of my classes get dropped in the Get Hooked playlist, so you can always revisit them. You can always make a million items, replay them, or, you know, just have the slower version of being able to rewind it and all the other fun stuff. So if you have any questions, though, along the way, please make sure you let me know, and feel free to leave it. If you're watching this after the fact, throw questions in the chat. I answer everything. When you get to this corner, you really want to try to go onto the wide side because you don't want even the little bit sticking out or it's just going to annoy you. I don't know. It annoys me. But you get that corner down. And then here's the second part. So a lot of people would start fastening off, but I want to actually close this as well because that'll keep this together. So there's no method to my madness on this one other than just standard stitching.
LOL, I'll finish it as I finish and post it later, LOL.
Oh yeah, please do. And I'm glad that it's already that big. That's crazy. So this is where I might switch my stitching style, but I'm still doing the same thing. I'm trying to just get this, and I'm also stitching it to this panel. So I'm going through both panels and I'm trying to hide the thread so it doesn't create any indentions more than it already is.
Is there a type of yarn that works best?
Honestly, any yarn. This is an acrylic, a standard budget acrylic. I've been using any scrap yarn that I have, your Red Hearts, your Karen Pounds, any of it. It doesn't matter. You probably don't want anything that has too much stretch to it, because or if you do have stuff with too much stretch, just double it up so it'll make everything more sturdy. But yeah, you can use just about any yarn that you have. I probably wouldn't recommend anything thin. I can't imagine that a DK or anything like that would be worth it unless you were pairing it with a worsted weight to make it more substantial. I feel like a DK would just be a pain in the butt. But again, you could always pair it with a, like let's say you had a variegated DK and you had just a few scraps and you paired it with like, you know, a complementary solid color, and that would make a really beautiful bramble basket. But these are awesome. And I've actually, I mean, you can sell them for, I don't know, it's using up your scraps, so you don't have to, you can sell them for like $5-10 or something like that. You guys do you, but I do tend to sell out of them pretty well at craft fairs because people are always like, oh, that's such a great idea. Like, they're always looking for ways to declutter. And I can tell you my purse loves the fact that I don't have scrunchies, bobby pins, chapstick, hair clips. What else do I? Coins. All the things that end up at the bottom of your purse, those are the types of items that I focus on using either my zip pouches for or these bramble baskets for, because I just can't stand clutter. Clutter like drives me nuts. So now that I'm here, as you can see, this is all sewn and this will stay together. Now we can tie this in a knot, but you want to try to be careful because we don't really want to create like too much of a little indentation. You want it to look kind of like it's naturally just staying together. I think I'm going to go right here and tie the knot underneath the seam just to help hide it because, you know, some people don't like knots being visible. So we'll try to be good stitchers, and I'm going to aim for something kind of under so it'll pull the knot down. To do a knot, you're just going to, it's like you're sewing, but when you get to that last part, you go through and then you pull it tight. And you probably want to do that twice, at least. Although it does feel like it's holding pretty well on its own. I don't think I need to do a twice one, but you guys know I'm a paranoid stitcher, so we'll just stay consistent. Why not? There we go. All right. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and weave in our ends. It's kind of nice and easy because you have 2 layers right here that you can weave it in, and it's kind of like a plushie where you don't have to be super specific. Only because it's going to hide it really well. You're going to be under it. So it's going to be a nice, easy one. I told you guys this was a really quick project. All right, now that we've got that, let's cut off our excess. Weave in that last one. Good Lord, we flew through this class. I feel really bad. I didn't realize it was going to be that short. But I told you guys, this one's really easy. So again, like, if you want a quick project that, like, I gift these away. They're just, it's awesome. It's just an awesome, like, flexible piece that anybody can use. Now, this was our magic ring. You technically don't need to tie it in a knot. It should already be fairly secure. But again, I'm paranoid, and so I am going to tie it just a couple more times before I weave it in. And now we are good to go. So I'm just going to weave it in. I'm aiming for the space in between the 2 panels again, just because it's easier than trying to weave it in and out of stitches. And then we will cut off the excess, if there is any. Yes, there is. And that's it. That is seriously it. This is a great project. Like, dude, have your kids try it. If this is a great beginner project. It probably takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours at the max. At the max. And that's just if you're going slow because it's new and you're still figuring it out. But you can put whatever you need in it. Let's show you guys some stuff so you can put, like, I mean, needles are going to go through it, so I probably shouldn't do that. But, like, you know, you can put some stuff in it. Boom. You can put all this in there, and then you're hanging it on the wall. It will pull forward a little bit, and that's fine. But again, well, Okay, maybe you don't want to put a really long hook in there. I can tell you I use it on my pens and I've never had them fall off the wall. You also will have a wall like holding up the back side of it. So it works out really well. I use them all the time. So hopefully that was easy. Do you have any questions before I leave you to your own demise? Because Amanda, I know you're already rocking and rolling. I don't think I had anyone else stitching with me at this current moment, but it's a really easy stitch, and you can do this with any stitch. So let's say you didn't want to moss stitch it, you could do any other triangle shape, and all you're doing is on the last 2 rows creating that loop and then folding everything in half and sewing it together. So I've done this with a Tunisian crochet. I've done this with, I know a lot of you guys are doing good. I know a lot of you guys are doing like the half double crochet, and then you're going back through with either front post or back post and stuff like that to create that texture. And then you could have like some really cool texture pieces going all the way around. So you can really make it all decorative, or you can make it nice and plain and simple because it's a really good minimalistic design. So guys, I told you this was going to be a short class. This project we pretty much flew through. If you have any questions after the fact, please don't hesitate to drop comments in there. And like I said, I'm going to aim for another live on Tuesday. I want to start our tank top that I do eventually want to write. So if you guys are new here, this is what's coming on the horizon. I still need to weave in the ends, but I'll give you guys a sneak peek. And we're going to be working on this tank top. I do want to start it hopefully Tuesday. And that way we have everything recorded, and then I can also convert it into a pattern. But I want to make sure that we have enough lives. That's why I'm going to start incorporating some of them on Tuesdays, as well as my regular Thursday one. We are not getting rid of the Thursday one. If anything, I'm just trying to bring you guys more tutorials, more crochet action, and all the fun stuff in a way that works for everybody. So if you guys have any requests along the way, please let me know. As far as next Thursday goes, I haven't yet booked what we're doing there. So if you guys have any requests, get them in. But we're going to be starting this hopefully Tuesday, and then I'll have another class for us prepared for next Thursday. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on all the notifications, and I'll see you next Thursday at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I will not be live on TikTok today, but I will be live tomorrow for Fun Friday. I don't know what we're stitching because I finished a lot of projects, but we'll find something. We always got stuff to make. Maybe we'll make some more Bramble baskets. And so I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys. Peace out, stitches. Have a